All right, everybody, welcome back to Live Guitar Repair with Danny. I am Max. Jordan's back in the house. And per your request, today we are sharing the knowledges of a guitar setup. How
They
are
put
you
you guys
today?
on camera.
How are you today,
It
Danny?
feels weird that we're all faceless voices. I am well. All
What-
right.
What do you have for us today?
I don't know. We promised we'd do a setup, so now that I've messed this camera up. All right. Can you see it?
It looks like we have a beautiful Les Paul Custom in front of us.
Yeah, it's a very nice. It's a blue one.
You think that plays jazz, rock, metal, or maybe the blues?
Max starting in with the dad jokes immediately.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we start? Is anybody on? Or is
We got
nobody?
3 people on.
They can
Hey,
watch,
people.
They can come back and watch it in their own time.
Oh, okay.
They can rewind. So, Danny, as promised, we're doing a guitar setup.
Yeah, I really wanted to work on that old Gibson, but we're gonna let it rest.
So, how would
I
you-
should break it. I did get further on it if you want to see it.
Yeah, we can. We'll save that. That'll be our thing at the end.
Okay.
It'll make everyone wait. The tease. So, how would you start a guitar setup?
So the first thing you do for a setup is tune the guitar. It's very important that it's in tune so that the tension is correct on the neck. And that's why if you change your string gauge, you need a new setup because you're going to change the tension on the neck, and it's going to change the relief, and that'll change the action.
And also, that being said, if you play in a
So-
non-standard tuning for a guitar, would that be?
Oh, yeah, that's
have
a-
it set up like if you're E flat, you should have it set up for E flat. If you're
Yeah.
E standard, you should have it set up. Even if you're in more a metal kind of drop tuning, you should have it. If that
Yeah.
guitar is that tuning, you should have it set up for that.
Correct. This guitar is tuned to E flat. So I'm going to just leave it in E flat since obviously that's how they play it.
And that being said, though, not the end of the world if your guitar is set up in standard, you play an E flat. It's just
No, you can kind of get away with E to E flat. But if you set it up in E and then you tune to drop C, you might have a problem.
yes.
Or vice versa. So, anyways, we tune it up. The first adjustment we make is to the truss rod. A lot of people are nervous about truss rod adjustments because there's a lot of old boomerisms, or what do you, myths,
Wise Tales?
boomer myths, yeah, old myths about you can only turn it a quarter of a turn, or that you can only tighten it with the strings slacked, and just all kinds of stuff. There are situations where that's true, but it's only in repair situations, like if the guitar is really messed up and you're really trying to torque down on it, you might want to clamp it up in the position you're going for. Anyways, that's all. None of that matters. Right now, your guitar is fine. What we need to do is adjust the truss rod correctly. So the way we do it in the shop, I can't see the camera, make sure.
You're still right.
The way we do it in the shop is we have this fancy gauge that we set on the frets. All right? And this one is way out of adjustment. I picked the right guitar. I just pulled it out of a case. I didn't know anything about it, but holy moly. We have a ton of relief on this thing. So
Go ahead.
I would adjust with this gauge, but you don't have that gauge. I didn't even have one until 2 years ago. So the way you would do it at home, there's a few ways. One is we fret it at the first fret, and then we fret it down here. What is that? The 15th, 12, 13, 14, 15th fret. And what that does, if it's, the string's under tension, so when you're holding those down, you've created a straight edge with the string. And that shows you here in the middle how's the exposure on it? That'll show you here in the middle how much relief you have, because the string is straight from the nut, essentially from the first fret to the 15th, and then the relief we're trying to adjust is in the very middle of the neck. And you can see this one's got a lot. See how much and I'll move the string with my finger, tap it. We want that distance to be 5/1000ths of an inch, and 5/1000ths of an inch, a piece of paper is 3/1000ths. So you're basically wanting 2 sheets of paper between that string and the fret. So as you can imagine, that string should be way down here. It should, when you tap on it, it should just barely like, you can kind of feel that and tap it. If you have feeler gauges, I think I've got some. You can get these at the auto parts store. These are guitar feeler gauges. We got the. So, interesting story. This gauge is a different color. This is used to be our standard neck relief right there. We set them tighter than we did years ago. And I don't know, we just learned that it's better. We used to have more relief back then. And one of the reasons I think, and a lot of these are just my opinions, is that we didn't have as good a fretwork. We didn't have Plek machines and stuff. So we needed a little bit more relief to make up for it. But anyways, could be wrong. I don't know. I discovered on my own that Strats and Tellys liked flatter necks. They just seem to fret out better with a flatter neck. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to use a capo and capo the first fret right there, so I don't have to hold it with my hand. And then with my left hand I can fret it here, and that frees up my right hand to stick a feeler gauge down here at the 6th or 7th fret. And this is a 5/1000, we have a ton of room. So that's going to be the best way to do it at home. That's the way we used to do it, was a feeler gauge.
And so those who are not following, it has too much relief. So there's too much bend in the neck right now.
Correct.
And we need to
Currently
straighten it out a little bit.
that is too much right there. That is
Bend in what way? Like,
so right now the neck is got an arch like this. It's got a bow. We need to flatten it, and we do that by tightening the truss rod. I'll move the camera up here. So this is a Gibson, so it has a what is it, a 5/16 nut. You'll need the proper truss rod. Like if your guitar was built in a faraway land, it'll have a 4mm Allen wrench. If unless it's a PRS, then it will have a, what is it? I think it's a 7mm nut. But then a local PRS. Did we lose the feed?
Jordan, cut
lost
the feed. Jordan, cut the feed.
Is it the cable or the?
Oh no. The red light's still on.
So the GoPro's still on?
It showed an image there. Is it when I moved it? You got a backup camera. Are we still streaming?
Luckily, yeah, they can still hear us. So, one moment, everybody.
This is a highly technical setup. A GoPro duct tape to a kick drum stand.
Well, this would be a good time. If you have any questions for Danny, please throw those questions in the chat. Billy Youngblood saying, "Can't still hear you."
Oh, good.
That's
I
good.
love that audio is still working.
I wonder if it died.
Did it die? I saw it pop up again.
Oh,
Like,
I can't get it to turn on.
do we need to switch back to the other one?
sure. Could you throw a battery in that?
Is this one good? Is that the old
No,
one?
that one's dead. That one's Danny's.
So let me continue. Your guitar should came with a truss rod wrench. If it didn't, you need to find the correct one. Please don't waller out the truss rod with the wrench that doesn't fit. Like I say, in anything a lower end, I don't know about lower end. Anything foreign usually has a 4mm dual action truss rod. The Gibsons will have a 5/16. Taylors have a 1/4 inch nut. Fender uses a variety of stuff. The older ones have a 3/16 hex.
Question from the chat, Billy Youngblood. Does the PRS core utilize a single or double action truss rod?
So that's a good question.
I think it's a double.
It's a double action, but the genius of Paul Reed Smith is he's using a single rod like a single action truss rod would have, but he anchors the slugs and then reverse threads. So when you turn the truss rod, you're turning the rod all the way down the length of the neck, and so it can actually push and pull. So it is a double action truss rod. It's bizarre and genius. And if I ever meet Paul, I'm going to bring it up and tell him that I think he's brilliant. And he'll say, I know.
Yeah, is that the dream guest for our
Yeah.
stream? Is Mr. Paul Reed Smith himself?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for holding on with us, folks. We're about got it.
He's got a backup camera hooking up. This is my fault. I think we used my GoPro, and it's untested. It was. So, but
Okay.
back to truss rod myths about not being able to tighten them. You can tighten them under string tension. You can tighten them more than a 1/4 of a turn. You can loosen them. You can do all those things. It's just a metal rod in the neck that is putting tension on it.
Oh, we're back.
What you don't want to do is tighten them, over tighten them. So, I mean, if they're getting hard to turn, maybe need to stop and like the one Billy brought me that we were pretty maxed out on the tension.
And if you feel uncomfortable about it, just bring it into us.
Yeah,
And Daniel set you right. All right,
I will push a truss rod. I don't have enough fear when it comes to cranking those things down. I have broken a couple, but fortunately, I can replace them. So
isn't that how you get good at repairing truss rods? Is breaking a couple?
yeah, you break a few. Where were we anyway? So we got the video back up. We were going to adjust this truss rod, and I moved the camera and destroyed the entire system. So maybe I'll move the guitar to the camera. So this is righty tighty. We have too much relief. We need to tighten the truss rod. We're going to go right, and because it needed a lot, I'm going to guess at this. It looked like I turned it a lot, but it needed a lot. So.
Oh, Billy telling you he
see.
traded for that Strat knowing that you could fix it.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm going to use my gauge. Well, that was a gamble there, buddy. I like to under promise and over deliver, though. I would never say I'm sure I could fix it. I would say I think so. So the tricky thing about these gauges is getting them flat, because you can rock it and you see the numbers all over the place. The flat spots. So 5, 6, 7, looks like we're 8,000, so it needs a little bit more. You can see that. I'm gonna crank. less than a quarter of a turn that time. 2,000 to go. It's starting to get pretty firm, but I'm not nervous. I like them a little snug just so I know they're not going to rattle. There it is, 5,000 on the dial. Can you read that dial?
No, it's a little blown out.
Yeah. Max wants me to work in the dark.
Man, it still gets blown out. It like
Alright.
adjusts and then
Huh.
go.
Well,
places.
you have to take my word for it. That's 5,000. So let's check it. With I'm going to put a capo on the first. I'm fretting the 15th. I'm going to check 6. So I'll put a feeler gauge. Try to get it between there without lifting the string. I think it's right on it. That's right where we need to be.
And I always remember something you told me about truss rods is you're probably not going to break it unless you are really trying to.
Yeah.
If it's like you're really having to put like pressure on it, otherwise you're generally fairly safe.
The ones I broke, yeah, I was. It was like I was trying to tighten a tractor nut.
Mhm.
It was really tight, and I was just like, I didn't care. Like if it breaks, it breaks, because it wasn't doing its job anyway. So it had a problem. But sometimes they're easy to replace. You know, I can replace a truss rod in a Rickenbacker in minutes because it's got a nut on the top and a nut in the bottom. You just take one out and just pull it out, jam a new rod in, tighten both nuts. I don't know if that's a good thing because they've got 2 truss rods and they are just,
But aren't those usually pretty thin truss rods in those ones too?
yeah, they're a 1/8 inch steel rod. Nothing special. I mean, I literally went to the hardware store and got a piece of rod and rethreaded it and stuck it in there. It was the same thing.
So after the truss rod, what do we go to now?
So now that we know the truss rod is right, this guitar, that's about all it needed, really. But first we tune, then we adjust the truss rod, and then we adjust the bridge. And you got to do it in that order. I don't care if when you adjust truss rod, the strings are like laying on the frets now. We need the truss rod straight because the next adjustment is the bridge. So I'll try and move this camera without.
I guess
breaking
one
the whole
last thought
system.
on the truss rod, just for people's like, well, why wouldn't I want the neck flat? Why do I need a little bend in it?
Some people do like a flat neck, and those people can put up with a little bit of string buzz. You want a little relief to give that string room to oscillate when you hit the note. It actually vibrates in a circle, in an ellipse kind of, and it needs enough room to clear the next couple frets. So you got to have a little bit of relief in the middle. Very little. Like I said, we used to do like 10 and 12. I used to do electrics at 10 and acoustics at 12,000.
Oh, wow.
And I do everything at 5,000 now. And I like it. So, can you see the guitar down here? Come on.
Oh,
Nice.
Well, the reason I holding it is because I want to make as many adjustments in the playing position. So I use a strain gauge for this. This is a StewMax strain gauge. We'll start with, I guess I'll just start with the way I do it in the shop, and then we'll figure out other ways to do it.
and also like string gauges, like the neck relief gauge. I will say that StewMac one, I looked it up, is a little bit pricey. But
Yeah.
like a string height gauge, those ones are actually kind of affordable. You can find them. I don't know if we sell some in the shop or you can find them on
I don't
Amazon.
think we sell them this, like, here's a cheap one, string action ruler, probably on Amazon. It's okay. I can read this one pretty good.
I think one comes in like the Music Nomad like guitar setup kit or something.
Yeah.
It's like a basic one.
I could show you. I got another one over here. This one, and I'll tell you the difference between these. this, so I'm measuring, I leave the string open. I'm not fretting it anywhere. And I'm measuring at the 12th fret, and I'm measuring the bottom of the string. Now, some techs measure the top of the string, but you need to know string gauge and stuff. You know, that's too much math for me. I measure the bottom of the string at the 12th fret. And so, and this is where personal taste comes in. I have a house set up that seems to be generic enough that everybody thinks it feels good. But so I've got customers that like it, their action super low, and customers that like it a little higher.
And then you have PRS customers.
Yeah.
I joke. I kid.
I kid.
I kid.
So my house, my generic house setup, which seems to be universally acceptable, is 60 thousandths of an inch on the low E and 50 thousandths of an inch on the high E. So I go down 10 thousandths of an inch across the neck. So I do that gradually. This is easy on a Les Paul because you just adjust the bridge with this screw, the bridge height, until it touches the 60,000. Hey, we're trying to make a movie in here. So 60,000.
I don't know how much it'll pick it up or not.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Somebody's banging on a trash can in the other room. So you just adjust that. The Les Pauls have a thumb screw. So we just adjust that thumb screw till this hits 60, and then we put it on this one, and adjust this thumb screw till that one hits 50, and you're pretty much done with the height adjustment because you can't adjust the saddles through there. But back to these. I know the StewMac one costs more, but it's honestly the easiest one for me to read because it's got the thin line. You would think that would be harder, but it's not. I can see where the line is and where the string is. This one would be the next best because it's got a solid line. I can see, if the string's above that, I can see a little glint of silver, so I know I'm above 60.
Billy's head sounds like someone is working on a fender.
On the back.
Yeah.
This one is actually, I thought this would be a great one, and it wasn't cheap, but I can hardly read it because it's black, so it gets, I can't really see the gap if I'm above 60. So StewMac wins this one for me. It's my favorite string gauge. There is another one if you want to get super fancy. This one, I can't remember who makes this. Oh, it's on the back. Guitar Works Precision String Gauge. This is I use this on measuring the height of string nuts, but you can do it at the 12th fret.
Did you knock Landon out?
No.
So it says, so I just set it on there, and then zero it, and then push down on it. Let's see, 63 thousandths. So we were off by 3 thousandths. It's pretty close.
And do you have a preferred bridge? You like the Les Paul style, or do you like the
640.
Fender style?
Well, for what? For setting up here in the shop, I like this one because it's fast. Like,
Yeah,
do it in a
I
hurry.
also like that just because I'm lazy.
For playing, I mean, yeah, I like Fender on a Fender. I mean, I don't know what to tell you there.
Yeah.
So that's how you set that bridge, and we're already. I mean, this guitar feels good. It's that's all it needed.
And that is
The
like-
last adjustment is I adjust the height of the strings coming off the nut. Probably shouldn't do that at home because that's a
Yeah, there's
it's
no
fine. It's fine. One more stroke. Oh, it's too low.
Yeah, there's no undo button in the
No,
drive.
no. That adjustment is kind of a.
Command Z.
It's a once and done adjustment though. Once you get that nut, once that nut is set right, you don't have to worry about that ever again, unless you change gauges and Anyways, let's grab a fender so we can.
And also, one thing to say though, it's like we have our house set up, but the setup is also a very personalized thing to the player. So there's not it's not like one shoe fits all on this.
Nope, I got a customer. Vince, I'm talking about you.
Oh, we love Vince. Vince is a good dude.
Love you, Vince. I've had his guitars down as low as 40, 30. That is low, brother. That is like you won't be bending a string because you can't get under them with it that low. You know what I mean?
And
That's
also-
that's just for like jazz chords.
And also forget about playing the slide.
Yeah. Yeah, slides out the window. Blues licks are out the window.
Steve Stewart said
Hey, Steve.
that's like a tire tread gauge. I'm guessing the last tool you were using.
This is just a thickness gauge. I don't know. Oh, you talking about this one? Well, they made it for guitars. They might have got the idea from a tire tread gauge.
No, can't you just put a penny in there, and if you don't see Lincoln's head or something?
What?
Isn't that
Yeah,
isn't that
you know
what they use
what?
for
I
tire?
think for a tire, like not for a guitar.
Billy said, I've done the nut file at home. Had to break out the super glue and baking powder to
You-
fill a nut slot. I cut too deep.
Lesson
Billy-
learned.
I still have to do that. It's a touchy thing, man. It's like, you're like, one more stroke. And then you're like, oh. I mean, how many times? Steve, aren't you at work? Don't you have to work? What day is it? Monday? Is he still on vacation? I want you to come in, Steve, and we'll talk about pickups. Steve makes pickups, and I want
Like F-150s or like
to guitar pickups, you moron. But we could, if you could find the time to come in, we could. I've got a few pickups. We could like cut them in half or something if you want to explain how they work or whatever you want. So, anyways, back to where we were. We got a Fender bridge. These are a little more difficult. Well, they take longer. Can you see it on the?
Yep.
The lens is so wide on that thing. It's like
Yeah, it starts to get a little
I could
fisheye.
stick it up
Steps
my.
far away.
So, with a Fender, I have to go get the right Allen. Hang on. And I set it, I get it positioned in the bridge. Oh, these are different depending on if it's American or metric. And there's like 4 different Allen screws it could be. So I set the first one to 60, trying to keep the saddle flat. This way, you can eyeball it like that. Get it to 60, and then I go to the next, the A string. I'm going to 60 like right on the line, right? Keeping the saddle flat. And I go to D string. I'm covering the line of 60, so I'm graduating down to 50 thou. And then same thing on the G string. I go, I'm going to at least cover the line of, and I'm talking about this string gauge where it's got a line. So I'm kind of just eyeballing it down across there, and then I'll eyeball it the other direction. I'll show you. So now I should be well in the 50 area. I'm touching the 50 thou line. And on the final E string, loosening these until it goes down until I'm bisecting the 50 thou line. And that's it. That should be gradually go up to 60 thou. Just for giggles, I'm going to eyeball it this way. It looks good. It's got a nice radius. You can see, I can't get you the eyeball direction. I don't know if I can. But there's, hang on, let me show you. I have a train of thought here. Ooh. You'll see people using these things. These are radius gauges, which the only time I use these is when I don't know what the radius of a board is and I need to know, and I will find the right gauge and fit it. But some people try to use these under the strings like this. I think StewMac even had a video where they do that, and then you set the radius with this thing under the strings. That's a bit finicky, fiddly. When this works great, because if this graduates across there, you're following the radius of the fretboard, so the bridge should be perfectly radius with the fretboard. So that's all I do that. So we've adjusted the truss rod relief, we've adjusted the bridge height, and on this one we've adjusted the radius. So the next thing would be tuning the individual saddles, which I don't know. I mean, I have a strobe tuner. I don't know how close you could get with just a clip-on tuner.
I mean, it'll get you close, but if you want to like exact, you need at least the strobe tuner or a good pedal tuner, I would say.
Yeah.
Because what I can't even remember like the smallest on a snark. Is it 3 cents?
I've seen snarks out as much as 5 cents, and that's no good. I mean, it's all right for rough tuning in a bar, but it's not good for setting your saddles. That's the other thing I want to mention. You can't need to do all this, preferably with the fresh set of strings. These strings are awful. I think this is a school guitar or something. I just grabbed it out of the rack, but yeah, you need fresh strings. One is you can't. Dirty strings won't tune. You sure can't strobe the bridge with dirty strings. The dirt in the grooves of the strings and stuff like it will change the weight and the vibration, and you'll get overtones, and you can't tune dead strings very well. Another good reason to change the strings more often, because you can't really keep dead strings in good pitch. You can tune them, but they won't stay in good pitch. So with a strobe tuner or a good pedal tuner, the way we do that is, I'm gonna plug it in. I don't want to do it with a snark. And this, like I said, this string is actually, I can feel dents right there. So this is going to be, I'll just show you how I do it. It's not going to, so we get it on a strobe tuner, we get it to where it's not moving at all, or on a snark or something, it needs to be just dead center. And then fretted at the 12th fret. It should be the exact same thing. This one is going sharp. Excuse me. If we're going sharp, we need to lengthen the distance between. Think of it like if you just fretted it too much or something, that's too short a distance here. That would make it sharp. That's 5 cents sharp, 4 cents sharp. So I need to tighten this. Now on a fender bridge, that helps, because it's got tension on it, and that screwdriver is not the one to use. Pardon me. I'm going to go back. It's all a guesstimation. I can't give you a formula for flat.
This is the part that always gets me, because this is
Sorry.
probably the most tedious part of it.
I'm sorry, a while ago I was calling it sharp, but we were flat. Because I'm a retard. I was special needs. And then I'm 1 cent off. You can't see the tuner, but I'm going to turn it a little bit.
Billy asked, can you speak a bit about strap pickup magnet pole and the effect it has on tuning?
Ooh, we're getting deep now.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, let's get deep. I'm curious now.
So I wished I had one to demo, but depending on the pickup, and we need Steve to come in to talk about this more, but some pickups have really strong magnets, and if you have that set too close to the string, it will cause the string to oscillate in weird ways, and you literally cannot tune the guitar. It'll be like, and I always recognize it on the strobe tuner. You can't see it on a Snark or something like that, but on the strobe tuner, it will go to tune and then it'll roll, and then it'll go back to tune and then it'll roll, and that's how I know that that's a magnet interfering, and it's creating like a creating a the way it's pulling on the string. It's almost like it's creating an overtone, and so when I get a Strat like that, it almost always happens on Strats.
Got
When
a
I-
shout out from Carnetta Crawford. This guy's awesome. You're awesome.
Thank you. I don't know about that. But I lower the pickups. I look for the highest one. I assume that's the one. Sometimes I don't know which pickup's causing it, and I just lower them all and then bring them back up to height. But that happens a lot in Strats. And a lot of people run their Strats pickups too high, the Strat pickup, because I think they're probably trying to get more output out of the single coil. And it'll get louder if you get it closer to the string, but then it will start interfering with the vibration of the string. And you'll lose sustain, and you'll have trouble tuning it. You're like, this thing, I think it needs to be strobed out because it's not tuning. It sounds like crap. And I'm like, we just lower the pickups, and she's fine.
'Cause generally, it's about a 1/4 inch you want between the string and the pickup.
Yeah, I think the rule of thumb I use is I fret it at the last fret, and then I try to run a 1/4 inch from the bottom of the string to the top of the pickup, fretted. Steve, chime in if you think. Are you still on there?
Yeah, you said 1/4 pounder. Seymour Duncan 1/4 pounders will do this.
that.
What you're talking about?
Yeah, those have big old magnets in them. I've had it just on like custom shot Strats too and stuff. And I don't know if Steve could chime in, but I don't know if can some of those magnets be charged stronger than others or something like that. I know
How
I've
many-
seen
How many windings? they
weak
have?
magnets. No, so the windings doesn't affect the magnetic charge.
Oh.
It's just the magnet itself that's causing that, and then the winds will create the volume and the color of the tonal color. But the magnet itself. So, anyways, where do we need to? What else do we need to cover? So the strobe tuning. Get that to be dead flat on the strobe tuner, and then dead flat when you fret it. I think I'm losing my mind here. So it's still flat because I can't. This string is way too dead to tune it, but you get the picture. I would tune it to pitch, fret it at the 12th fret. If it's flat, the bridge needs to come forward. If it's sharp, the bridge needs to go back. And how much is all a guessing game for everybody. We're all in the same boat. No one had got no math equations for that.
Well,
I just guess at it.
Very cool, Danny. I think we're getting to about that time, though. I think we've been about 45 minutes, right?
We started a little late, so we're just
Yeah,
about
we
40
did
right now. But
start late. We were playing with the cameras and stuff, and then I broke it. And
All right, well, I will say this is the last chance. If you have any questions for Danny today, we'll be going a little bit longer, but
or Max, if you got any questions for Max?
no one has any questions. for me.
Oh, Max.
Oh,
Any
no.
questions?
Oh, there we go.
They're not supposed to see what we look like.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't.
We're supposed to be the people behind the curtain.
Nobody wants to stare at a guitar all the time.
It's supposed to be mysterious.
It's mysterious.
This Max, he's the king of dad jokes. Come on, give us a dad joke, Max.
Oh, come on. You put me on the spot.
Seriously, Steve, can you come in? We'd like to do a live stream with you.
Yeah,
Are
that'd
you
be
still
awesome.
in there? What's a good day for you?
This is also live.
I mean, what's a good Monday for you?
live scheduling.
What's a good Monday at 3 for you? All right. Anybody?
Anybody?
Well,
Going once? Going twice?
their
Going
delay
3
will
times.
probably just get
What's
to
that?
the question part when we end it. Setting the intonation on a double locking trim is a fun time.
That we charge more for that.
So this is talking about all the Floyds.
Floyd Rose, yeah, that's an
Taylors.
upcharge. It's so much fun that we
Yeah.
upcharge it.
Okay.
We'd have to talk about setting up a Floyd would take at least an hour and a half or 2 hour stream. I mean, I'm willing to do it, but man, those things can be cantankerous. And
Yeah, you'll find that on our Patreon feed. But yeah, I think someday we can do a Floyd if one comes in.
they're a good time. And there's different ways to set up. You know, there's decking a Floyd or floating
Oh,
Floyd.
can you show my favorite Floyd tool of yours? I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know which one is that.
The
Is it
spatula.
my spatula.
Yeah.
This is my official Floyd Rose tool. This is a drywall spatula. How it works is you slip it under the Floyd and the bridge, and it keeps the bridge from, on a floating Floyd, it keeps it from rocking back when you take the strings off. So that's my $1.95
Man,
Floyd Rose.
Generally
And I
a
had to-
lifesaver.
Yeah.
it's giving away all his secrets.
I have no secrets. Everybody knows that.
Steve's gonna check his schedule. So I
Yeah.
guess we'll be.
Jordan
here
said they would pay you for a day off work.
Oh no.
Ooh, hot takes. Loaded promises here on Palin Live.
This camera makes me look fat. I'm not that fat in person.
Everyone, we need 100 comments for Danny to wear this in the next stream.
Yeah, come on.
If we do 200, Dan and I will dress like we're from Back to the Future. I'll be Marty McFly and Danny will be Doc Brown, and we'll do the whole show in character.
And Max will shave for that.
Ugh. I already
You
did that.
shaved not that long ago.
Not that long ago I shaved.
Hey, while we're still on the stream, I'm going to show you something cool. You know, I always got cool guitars in here. This one's especially cool. This is a 63 Jaguar, all original.
Was it one owner?
One owner, and it's the bridge cover is still in the case
Wow.
and everything, and we're just going to set it up. I think this lady inherited it. It was her grandpa's, and she didn't know anything about it, and she brought it in. She's like, "What is it? Is it worth anything?" And I said, "Yeah, you got something nice there."
I always just like it, the matching headstock too.
Yeah, this was a. Didn't you look it up, Max? It's a little rarer than because it's black with gold hardware, which they didn't make a ton of those. Most of them were burst.
It's Chase or Elijah, I think, looked it up. Yeah, but it's like or maybe Mike did that. It's a little bit more like a deluxe Jaguar with the gold hardware, and
Right.
it wouldn't have been I don't think black was a standard color, so I don't know if this was a dealer got an upcharge just for a fancier one, or this was like a direct order from Fender with the upgraded parts. But
If you know guitars, it's got the L series serial number. It's got the nice rounded headstock. It's got the clay dots.
And the funny thing about it is, like, at the time, this was the highest, this was the premier Fender Electric at the time, so this is the most expensive.
Yeah, that was the most expensive Fender they made at the time.
But,
This
like-
was the
But nowadays, the same year, if you had a Strat, though,
yeah
or Strat or
a
Telly,
63 Strat.
yeah, it'd be worth a little bit more than that, though. That is a very cool guitar.
That's sweet.
Oh, I was going to show you since we were working on that.
Oh, yes, I don't want to forget the lead of, like,
Yeah.
that old Gibson we were working on. Let's see the progress.
Oh yeah.
So you remember we were putting those inlays in last time.
Oh, that's what you did last stream.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was missing this one, that one, those two, and these were partials. I'm still working on that one. I think I can get that one a little better.
Did you?
They were just paper thin little
Weren't you gonna try and age them or something to like match?
Yeah,
the
I haven't
rest?
done that yet. I mean, I started, but yeah, I'm going to age these back a little yellower. I don't know if I'll do that on camera. I'll just use tinted nitro and an airbrush, and then I'll put finishing oil on the fretboard, and it'll kind of seal it. That's a StuMac product. It's like a drying finishing oil. It's kind of cool. But once I get that done, then we're going to refret it, and then it's going to go home. Probably it'll get refretted, plecked in a new nut, and then it'll go home.
All right. I think we got one last question. We're gonna end on this. I'm gonna butcher the name, so I'm not gonna say it. But it says, "Very nice work. Do you ever scallop a neck?"
I do. Do you ever play one?
I've played a scallop.
Have you played one?
Like once. It's interesting. Some of the guitars you get in do have a partial scallop on some, but like not a full like
Just a few
Yngwie.
frets. Well, not a while back we had like an Yngwie Strat in that was fully scalloped all the way up. And that is a weird sensation. That's like. I could see where it would be really good for like fast runs, like how he plays. But playing a chord on that thing is nuts, and you could like pull it sharp. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like playing a sitar or something. It's crazy.
So to answer your question, yes, Danny. If you want a guitar scalped, Danny can do it.
Yeah, we could scallop necks.
What does that mean?
Oh, so it's
The fretboard is filed away between the frets and created a divot between them.
so that when you fret it, it's not actually touching the fretboard. It's just hitting the fret in air, and it's
It's like having super tall frets, like this tall. It's like
some shreddy players really enjoy it, but it is a
Interesting.
it takes a special touch because you could squeeze it a little bit and make it go sharps.
Ah,
Because it's
that doesn't sound fun to me.
well,
all right.
it's a thing. It's something you'd have to get used to. It's
And that's
but it helps when you. The popular thing is to just scallop like the bottom few, where you're just doing like solo stuff and you're just stretching, and it makes it easier to grab the string and stretch. That's a very popular mod.
Speak of the devil, the person who asked that is playing a Yngwie signature.
Sweet.
That is that is the person who. I guess actually Richie Blackmore, I think, is the guy that kind of first started doing that, and then I think Yngwie is definitely in the mold of Richie.
Did Richie Blackmore do his whole neck? Like
I think he might have, like back in the.
the first I heard of it
late
was
70s.
Yngwie, and the first one I ever felt where the whole thing was an Yngwie Strat, and I was like, wow, this is crazy.
I could be wrong, but I think Richie Blackmore might have done it. But
It'd be cool as a second guitar.
yeah,
Just to play for fun. Just like it's fun to have a guitar that's set up for slide and one that's, but I couldn't see it being my main axe. That would be, I mean, but if you can play Yngwie stuff, that's the way to go.
I think
Richie did.
oh, I was right. Comics didn't. The comment section did not prove me wrong. I'm right. Thank you. And with that, thank you for your time, the privilege. Thank you to Danny. Thank you to Jordan. Thank you for watching. I think this is where we steer the ship into the port. Thank you for your time.
Bye.
And now it takes an awkward amount of time.
Yeah,
to shut
now
off.